Just as a guy who played sports in high school but never got even close to that level, what's it like with these dream schools all looking at you?
It's really like amazing because like when I was younger, I was just playing volleyball mostly for fun, and then slowly I got more and more into it, and now I'm realizing that like it's making like other things come true, and like I'd really want to play on like the national team at some point. So just working every day and practice to get better and better.
When did it get real for you that I might be able to play in college? Maybe if I play my cards right, I could play for the national team.
I'd say like my first year of 14s, when I was like 13. I was like doing really well in my age group, and that's when I realized, and I had my brother who playing, and he had a few opportunities, but he decided to stick with academics. But that's when I started to realize, and I was like, I'm going to work very hard to achieve these goals.
And I know that you moved to Southern California from Northern California. Yeah. How helpful has that been for your volleyball development?
That's helped a lot, actually. There's a lot more clubs and opportunity here. Like I can go to the beach with my friends and play whenever I want. I still love all my friends and like my club team from NorCal, but it's just a little bit more competitive here, so it's nice.
You mentioned competitive. The league you guys play in at Palisades, not as competitive as I'm sure you would like. The Western League, nothing against some of those other schools, but you guys are just way ahead of those schools. So you mentioned competitive. Do you play at Palisades for the tournaments like you're going to have in a couple weeks, and for practicing when you're playing against some of the best? Is that more of the competitiveness that you're talking about?
Yeah, so we tend to use practice as like the place to get better, because we know in these league games like is we're not really getting challenged that well. So practices, tournaments, those are when we have to make our statements, especially in like coming up 2 tournaments, Karch Karai and Redondo. If we want to get a good seed in state, those are when we have to win solid games against Southern Section teams. So those are like mostly when it gets competitive, and then obviously city championships when we face like Chatsworth or El Camino, Granada. They're all top teams, so those are all good schools to face, and pretty like I feel like the city section is getting stronger, so it's good.
According to Max Preps, you guys are number 40 in the whole country. Do you take any pride in that?
Not really, because I feel like it's a little bit on our strength of schedule. So I mean, there's not much we can do with what like we're given. Like we just got to play our games and then win our games. So not really. Like it is what it is, but we'll deal with it.
What are practices like competing with some of the best just who are on your team and competing against them every day?
It's really fun because I play with most of these guys like Marcus, Miles, Justin. We're all in the same club, so we play together a lot, and just nice like because we have other people here that are not on our club team, so we all get to mesh together and come back, and it's like we all mostly hang out with each other at school, so it's fun. Like we treat practice as like a fun time to be around with friends as well as getting better on the court, so it's always nice.
And Coach Gray kind of brings you guys all together. What's his coaching style like? I know you call him Carlos.
Carlos is a really good coach. He every time I like mess up or if there's something that we need to be corrected, he always gives you like the reason why, and it's really helpful because like you always know what you did wrong, and then you can go back and then he'll make sure to work with you in practice, so we're always getting better and just polishing our skills all the time.
Obviously, a city championship is something you guys want to accomplish, and then from there, a state championship. Can you give me a bit of a history lesson in terms of, I know you guys have been successful at the city level, but what have you done at the state level in the past couple of years?
So my freshman year, we lost in city finals, so we didn't make it to state. Last year was my sophomore year. We won city, and then we had to play Corona Del Mar in the first round of state. So we were the 8 seed, they were the 1, and it was a good game. It was they won in 3. The scores were kind of close, but I feel like this year we have a much better shot. We were kind of young last year, and like it was like our first time playing in state for most of us. So I feel like now that we're more experienced this year and next year, we're gonna have a really good shot at state, and we just got to make it happen.
Yeah, last question for you. How do you make that happen?
Just consistency, and I feel like in the past years we've kind of peaked in the middle and in the beginning of the year. We peak a lot, and towards the end we kind of get tired, and we just got to make sure like having a higher seed in state, that really helps. Like even if you can have one home game or maybe not playing the 1 or 2 seed, because even though we may be as skilled, if you don't perform well on that night, it's win or go home. So I say just more consistency and in practice too.
Akhil, thank you very much.
Thank you.